Where focus goes, energy flows. The problem is you put too much energy into Netflix. You put too much energy into distractions. You put too much energy into entertainment. You put too much energy into things that are not feeding your purpose and destiny.
You talk a good game, but you refuse to stay consistent. You refuse to have any sort of discipline. You refuse to lock in and be focused. T.D. Jakes said, "Don't tell me what you gonna do. Tell me you got it done." There is no easy route. There is no magic formula, which means there is no hocus pocus. Success comes with massive discipline and massive focus. With self-discipline, anything is possible. But can you lock in and focus in on doing the things on a daily basis? The things that make you highly uncomfortable. You don't get it. Either suffer the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of regret. The choice is yours. Discipline is built by consistently performing small acts of courage. Can you have that eagle eye focus though? And make sure that each and every day is deliberate. Each and every day is intentional.
If you don't have personal discipline, you'll never get to the next level. The next level is not something that's far away. The next level is execution is not something that, we do, it's something that we are. And most of us aren't disciplined. Some of you, there are things you like, you have absolutely no control. You are like a slave to you. You are a slave to your personality. You are a slave to some of your vices. You are a slave to some of the things you like. You are a slave. You have absolutely no control. I know you don't want to wake up. You don't have an option. Get up. We trying to eat. There's a certain lifestyle we want. You are not where you want to be, not because you need any more gifts. You don't need nothing else. You need to discipline yourself. You need to learn to tell you no. You keep talking about everybody else, you can't tell no. You can't tell you no. You can't tell you stop. You can't tell you quit. You can't tell you nothing. You got to get to a point where you're disciplined. And what separates the talented, if everybody's talented, if everybody's equally gifted, what separates us is discipline.
Self-discipline is a process, is a habit. It is not something someone's born with. What has to happen is you got to do it for a while. Why be self-disciplined if it's never going to mean anything? One of the reasons we're not self-disciplined, it's never going to mean anything. Who cares? No one's going to notice. It's no big deal. What I do doesn't matter. It does matter. It's just your dadgum life. It's just the story of you. It's just your family name. It's just your reputation. Whether that means you're going to win a World Series or a Masters golf tournament or just be the one in your family and change your family forever, you got to have this sense that you're making history. Because, by the way, you are. For me, in a given day, what takes my self-discipline from me is worry, fear, and the process of watching screens, scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through TikTok, watching YouTube, watching sports on television. So I've made lists of things that are my self-discipline stealers. And I haven't eliminated them, but I've reduced them and I schedule them in non-productive times. So it's not that I can't watch SportsCenter. It's not that I can't scroll TikTok or Instagram. I can do that. But I have to schedule it in times that don't take away from moving the needle. You've got to do moving the needle activities in your life. The most successful people do the highest impact things possible in any given moment or any given day. And the people that lose or that produce subpar results or average results, they still work very hard, but they don't do the needle moving things. A lot of times we just schedule our appointments, don't we? We just have appointments. And that's all we have on a calendar. At the end of the day, I didn't make my contacts. I didn't tell the people that I loved them. I didn't do the amount of emails I was supposed to do. I didn't take the time to write the chapter of my book. I didn't craft my social media captions. Things need to be scheduled. That's where self-discipline comes from. The process of self-discipline is like a muscle that you can grow. And so I think the mistake many people make is they start with these huge things that they think require self-discipline. And unless they do these huge things, they lack it. Whereas I believe you start in the micro. You start small in life. And that's what builds the real discipline. So this may sound crazy, but I have eliminated and written down the things that take my self-discipline away. I have scheduled the things that make me look like I have self-discipline. And then third, I start with the small promises I can keep to myself. And that's to this day, 25 years later on this journey, I still schedule things. I still do little things that create momentum, because momentum, as I've said before, is a magnifier. Momentum can make an average, ordinary person like me produce superhuman results. So I create what might be considered artificial momentum every single day. So let me give you an example of that. I make my bed every single day. I've been doing that for many, many years. That seems insignificant, right? Because I could pay somebody to make my bed every single day. That's not why I do it. I do it because it starts my day with discipline, and it's something that I can control and I can maintain. I have a routine that I do, whatever your routine might be. For me, it could be the cold plunge or my prayer time or my meditation time, my stretching. I do these things early in my day. These are promises that I can make to myself that create this identity of a self-disciplined person, when the truth is I am not one. I have not been one, but I have created an identity of a self-disciplined person. Let me give you another one. I lay my clothes out the night before for the following day. I do this whether I'm staying in a hotel room or whether I'm staying at my own house. I know that sounds insignificant. It is extremely significant, because now I've done something that I told myself I was going to do, and it's done. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm in autopilot mode. And the third thing I do, I have a big a gallon of water that I pour the night before. And when I get up, I drink half of that water. It doesn't matter if you drink 10% of it, but it's something to start my day. Whoop, self-discipline, I've done it. When I point my mind as a weapon at the small things in my life, and I start stacking those up that I do over and over and over again, now the medium-sized tasks are disciplined and the big ones are disciplined. Your brain is always trying to conserve energy. It's trying to build a habit so that it doesn't have to work to think. And so the more you do these little things, your brain wants to continue to do them. It's not just a muscle, it's how the brain functions, because now that it's just stuff that you do every single day, it doesn't have to think about it anymore. And under pressure in life, we act reflexively. So if your reflex is to have these habits that serve you, your life becomes very easy. It also frees your brain up to be much more creative and innovative and energized and aware than people who don't have discipline. The benefit of discipline and self-discipline is not just that you get these things done, it's that your brain's not having to work so darn hard. See, when you don't have self-discipline, not only you're not getting stuff done, you're more tired. You're more physically exhausted. The better your habits are, the better you'll be in pressure situations. You remember this, self-discipline, one of the things that comes with it is a sense of emotional control. You don't get too high and you don't get too low. See, self-disciplined people maintain emotional control. You have to have the mindset that you are not going to think like everybody else, that you're going to think differently. If you keep thinking like everybody else thinks, you're not going to be great. You start doing all this stuff, eliminating the distractions, scheduling the right things, you got to be kidding me. Moving needle activities next, the big stuff, starting with simple practices that build self-confidence and build momentum, you begin to automatically become compelled to be self-disciplined. If you lack self-discipline, there's nothing compelling you to have it other than wanting it. That's why day-to-day being ready, day-to-day having self-discipline, day-to-day having these habits and the mindsets to go with them matter.